Hey, welcome back to another video. My name is Dominic Spicer. I'm a 21-year-old entrepreneur from the UK, and in today's video I'm going to show you how to build a WordPress website using Cloudways, WordPress and Namecheap. Let's get straight into the video. Now, if you want to support me, please hit the like button and also subscribe and turn a little bell notification on, as it hugely does support me. Now, I've no other faffing about. I'm just going to get straight into the video. There's no face cam, simply because I just want to show the whole screen as it is. So let's get straight into the video. Now, one of the first things you're going to need to get is a domain. Now, you could get your domain from Namecheap, which is what I use. Now, if you want to use Namecheap, I have a link in the description. You could use a platform called GoDaddy, but it's slightly more expensive and their customer support aren't as good. You could buy your domain from your hosting company if you were to go with like the likes of HostGator or Bluehost. However, I don't recommend that. Say if you didn't like Bluehost or HostGator in like a few months' time, you wanted to transfer it, it is such a pain in the ass, so I wouldn't bother. So for me, I'm going to use Namecheap. Now, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to find a domain that's relevant to what you want to create your website for. So let's say you're into real estate, have it based off real estate. If you want to like make money online, have a make money online related thing. If you're a plumber, have it like that. Or if you really have a company name, then put that in. Now, let's say if I was to use a domain grind forever. I was actually going to use this for a company, but I went somewhere else. Now, all you would need to do is choose your extension. I recommend .com. What's quite trendy nowadays is, I don't know if I'll have it here, but .io is quite trendy nowadays. .co.uk you could do if you were just in the UK. But let's say we're going to use grindforever.com. All you do is go add to cart, and then you view item. Right, I'm going to exit that, and then I'm going to go to view cart. Now, you'll see there's a load of add-ons, so I recommend keeping that on, simply because then you don't have to worry about it. I'd keep this on, simply because it's free. You don't need this, you don't need that, you don't need that, you don't need that, nor that or that. And here's why. Well, I'm going to be using a hosting company called Cloudways, as I prefer it over Bluehost and HostGator, as one, it's quicker and their customer support is better, and there's a lot more features they give you for free, and it actually works out cheaper than the likes of Bluehost or HostGator. So if you don't have an account, it might say to create an account here, or when you go to confirm order, you'd go and create an account, but I already have an account, as you can tell. And I'm not going to buy the domain, as I do already have a domain, but if you do want to use this domain, it's grindforever.com. So I'm just going to click this up here, and it'll bring me back to Namecheap. And then when you're on this screen, and let's say you're logged in, which you should be, go up here, and you can go to dashboard, and it'll take you to your list of your domains. The domain that I'm going to be using is systemergy.com. Now, what's the concept behind systemergy.com? I thought it sounded cool at the time. Now, we're just going to leave Namecheap for now. We're going to go back to it in a couple of minutes, but I want to just go over Cloudways. So Cloudways is a phenomenal platform. My websites have been incredibly fast since I've been using Cloudways, and anytime I've had an issue, I can actually just go to their support, and they're very happy to help. And not only are they happy to help, but they're actually qualified to help. Like, their support actually helps. It's a lot like Namecheap. You know, sometimes you'll go through their initial support and they might not know the answer, but they'll actually just refer you to an expert and they can help you. That's why I love both of these platforms so much. But what you'd want to do is you want to go to pricing, and you know, it says here, get started for free. The great thing about Cloudways is you can try it out for free for 3 days without even putting your credit card in to see if you like it or not, which is fantastic. Now, I've actually got a link in my bio if you want to use Cloudways, and just click through that link and you can sign up. And what you want to do is you want to go down here and you want to select a plan. Now, you'll see all of these and you're like, well, why can't I go to them directly and buy my hosting from them directly? It would be cheaper, but you'd have to know a lot about like coding. You're going to have to like set it up through like command prompts and stuff like that. And to me, I can't be asked. So For me, I choose DigitalOcean simply because I don't need the required power of any of these. and these are good enough. And to start, I actually just went with that, and that lasted me a month, and then I actually just scaled to that one. But I don't even pay this a month. And you're like, well, how does that work? Well, Cloudways actually charges per hour. So as you can tell here, charges per hour. And that's brilliant because they don't overcharge you for what you don't use. Like, I'm on this plan and I don't think I've even been charged $22 yet, and I've been on this plan for a few months. So, you know, they just charge you for what you use, and most of the time your single website won't be using much. So what you're going to want to do is you'll press start free, and then use create an account, and then you go through the process, and then you should end up in a screen like this. Now, this is vaguely what your screen will look like, but I don't think you'll have a server. So what it'll do is when you're like signing up and you're logging in, you'll go through the process of setting up a server. Now, the instructions that Cloudways will give you are quite clear, so there won't be any problem. If there is, all you need to do is click need a hand, and you can go through either their knowledge base, their live chat, you can create a ticket, or you can ask community, or you can go on YouTube, and there'll be plenty of tutorials on YouTube. So what you want to do is once you've created your server, what we want to do is we want to add our application. We want to select the server, add the application. We'll just select that one, name it of whatever your domain is called, add the application, wait for this to load. So as you can tell up here, it says it's been installed. So what we're going to do is go back to applications, and we're going to go down to Systemology, which whatever you selected, that's mine. Now, if we go to the application URL, this is what it looks like in a moment. So pretty dodged, but that's fine. What we're going to do first is we're going to go to domain management, and we want our own domain, which we've just bought. So type in whatever your domain is. Mine is this. Click save changes. And this is why the step prior to setting up the A record and setting up the C name record was important, because by setting this up, it enables you to allow you to connect your domain to your website. And that means when we go back to access details, when we go to application URL, it's our domain. But if we were to click on it now, as you can tell, it's not private. And this is because we don't have an SSL active. So if we close this and we go to SSL certificate, now the great thing about Cloudways is they actually give you an SSL for free. So all you need to do is put in an email that you want. Then all you have to do is put in your domain again. Now, when it says to enable HTTPS redirection, click enable. Now, if we go to close and move to access details again, and I go to this button here, as you can tell, we're now secure, which is brilliant. Now, the first thing we want to do is we want to go to here, and we want to use this username and this password. So do it for yourself, obviously. Now we're logged in, which is awesome. Now what we want to do is we want to go to plugins first of all. What we want to do is we want to delete all of these, excluding Breeze, and then we're going to press delete. The reason we don't want to delete Breeze is for the reason of Cloudways gives it us free, and it does the job for clearing our cache. So the first thing we want to do now is we want to go to settings, and we want to go to Permalinks. And we want to make sure post name is ticked, not anything else. As let's say you have an about us page, it'll be like systemenergy / about us instead of all of this gobbledygook. So make sure that's ticked, and then press save changes. Now what we want to do is we want to go to appearance, and we want to go to themes. We want to go to add new, and we're going to search for something called Astra. Now, not to be mistaken with Astral. We want to pick Astra. So Astra is the one you want. So install. Wait for that to load. Then we're going to activate it. Cool, that's activated. Now what we want to do is go to plugins. Go to add new. We're going to search up starter templates. Install now. And now activate this one. Now we want to go to C library, Now, this is where you can select your page builder. We're going to select Elementor simply because this is the one I use to build websites with. If you've got experience with Beaver Builder, Gutenberg and Brizzy, then you can follow along, but I'm going to pick Elementor simply because that's what I use. Now you want to pick a website. Now, you're trying to avoid the ones that say agency, as these are ones you have to pay for, but the ones that you don't have, like they don't have the agency bits, so obviously like this one, that one, etc. I'm going to pick this one just because it appeals to me the most. So if we go like this, and then we import the complete sites. This is slightly new, so we just fill that into what you think. Advanced settings look cool to me. You don't have to fill this in. This is just them trying to send you their newsletter. So just press skip, and then it will import the site. So it says the website is imported successfully, so all you need to do is press view site. And this is currently what our site looks like. Now see, we're going to want to change this to our liking and what our vision for our website is. Now for me, my vision is to create this website as more of a like a blog techie type thing, but at the moment I was going to have a tech theme, and in another video I'm going to show how to make a blog. But for the most part, we're just going to do a simple website that's a bit techie. And yeah, we're going to go through the whole process. So now the next thing we want to do is we actually want to go back to dashboard, and we want to go to updates. Now, if you haven't got the latest WordPress, just click update. But I've got these themes that I want to update, so all I've got to do is press select all and then update themes. That's good. Now I'm not using these themes, but I just want to update everything that I can on my website. Then I want to go down to settings, and I'm going to go to general. And I want to change the tagline. Now the tagline is what is like up here, you know, like the Cloudways next generation cloud hosting platform. So I'm going to use this as for all. So that looks good to me, and all I have to go down is press save changes. And now if I was to go to visit site, as you can tell up here, it says for best tech reviews. Now the next thing we want to do is we want to go and build a logo. Now I already have a logo, but I can show you how to make one. So first of all, you want to go and click this little like pencil, and it'll bring up the customized logo part. Now, at the moment, we're using this mountain logo. Now, if you don't know how to build a logo, that's absolutely fine. Now, to create your logo, you can either go to a platform called Canva, where they have templates, or you can just make your own, or you can take like parts from logos and stick them and customize it to make your own. Or if you don't fancy that, you could go to Free Logo Maker and make your logo based off that. Or you could go to Free Logo Maker, which is actually on Namecheap as well, and you can make a logo from that. Let's say you wanted to use Canva, you could search something called Icon Finder, and you can get your own icons. Let's say you're a vet. I'm going to search up dog, and we go to free, and you can use any of these icons to download. Let's say something simple, and then we're going to go to upload. Drag that on. Let's get some text. This is usually a decent font to go with. Let's say you're, I don't know, London Vets. You know, something like that. I know it doesn't look great, but it's something like that. Like, you can make a logo for free on so many different platforms, like Logo Maker, like Namecheap, like Canva, and then you can take icons from Icon Finder, and there's plenty of them. I mean, look, about 120 icons in 0.2 seconds, and that's only for dog. So there's plenty of ways on how you can make your own logo. But once you have a logo, what you want to do is you want to import it. So we're going to upload files. Mine's on my desktop, and this one. Just select it in and then drag it out, crop image. And that is good, but as you can tell, the background is not the best for it. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go down a bit, logo width, I'm just going to drag it a bit down, and we're going to change the background later so it doesn't look as dodge, but that looks good for me now. So what we're going to do is select the site icon, and the site icon is this bit up here. At the moment it's WordPress, but we don't want WordPress, you want your own branding on there. So if we select our logo here, crop it on, and now we got our own logo up there as well, which is brilliant. So we're going to publish that. And now we're going to go back and we're going to exit out for now. Now the reason I want to get out of the way, just because it saves me a lot of time. Now before we actually edit the website, what I want to do is I want to go to dashboard again. I want to go to pages, and this is where you can create new pages. You know, this is a sample page, so what we're going to do is delete that. I don't need a privacy policy, so I'm going to delete that. About, contact, home. Let's just get rid of services, as I don't need that. In fact, let's get rid of all of them except home. So what we do is bulk actions, move to trash, apply. Go to trash, select all, bulk actions, delete permanently, apply. Then visit site, and as you can tell, you've lost those pages. But I'm going to add a new page, so just exit out of that. Add new, and we're going to call the first one blog. And we want to make sure that the transparent header is set to enabled. Then we're just going to publish it. Then we're going to go back, reload. Now we've got blog and home. Add another one. Going to make this called reviews. Again, transparent header, enabled, publish. Good. Go back, reload. And the next one I'm going to call tutorials. Transparent header, enable. And you might notice this, at the moment it's all lowercase. When you're typing it, I don't know if this is a bug with WordPress at the moment, but press shift and then whatever letter you're going to use, and it'll capitalize it, because the reason it's not showing it, I'm not sure why, but if we publish it and I'll go back, as you can tell, it's a capital T. So I'm not too sure what's going on there, but we have our pages now. And if we go to visit site, as you can tell, our pages aren't visible. So what we want to do is go to customize and go to menus. And what we want to do is click navigation and add items. And we want to add all of these. Now I'm not happy with that order. So what I want to do is put blog here and put the reviews at the top, and then we're going to publish it, and then this is what we got. Now before I exit out, I want to have this, and I want to call it free marketing tips, because I'm going to do a part 2 to this video where 1, I create a blog, and then a part 3 where I create a funnel and start collecting emails through this button. So basically this button will link to a sales funnel, but for now we're not going to link it to anything. But what you could do is you can link it to let's say a contact page if you wanted, like contact now, or if I was to show you a client's page, if we were to click this book now, it will send them straight to like the booking part for the barbers, which is awesome. So there's a lot you can do with that button, but in the next part, next week, we're going to make it so this goes towards a sales funnel and we can start collecting those emails. But what I'm going to do is just leave it like that, as I'm happy with it, and I'm going to publish it. And we want to click on this option called global. Now global is, if I edit something now on this global page, let's say the typography I change here, it will change throughout. So let's go to typography and I go to headings, and for the heading font family I want Montserrat. Now the weight, if I wanted thin, as you can tell it looks more thin, but let's say I wanted semi-bold. Now I'm happy with that. Heading 1, the inherit font, so this is the font it gives you, which goes along with this theme. I'm happy with this font, to be honest, but you could change this to anything you wanted. For example, if we didn't like Montserrat, we could go to, do we have Comic Sans? We have Comic New? Well, I don't know what that is. So for example, you could change it to that. Let's say you didn't like that, let's just pick a random one. Yeah, you could go with rye. But for me, I'm very happy to go with Monster Rat. It's usually like my go-to one for clients, simply because it's simple and it looks professional. So if you go to Monster Rat, and I usually put semi-bold 600, let's make it capitalize, which is awesome. It capitalizes it for me, so I don't have to worry about it. The others I'm going to leave as they are, but if you wanted, you could change it. Now I'm going to go back, and the colors that I've got here in my logo are like already with like the darkish blue. It's like a turquoisey dark. It's like a dark turquoise, and then we've got like an aqua blue sort of, and that's sort of the color scheme we got at the moment. So what you could do is, if you wanted like to change the theme color, you could change the theme color to red, by just clicking on that and like moving it about. I'm just gonna save this color code, and let's say I wanted pink instead, and it's the same with this one. Let's say I wanted pink here, and like the color code, though you can't see it when you create a new thing, the color code, the color theme would be in this, but I want it like it's given me, because I like the consistency. With the buttons, I don't like the squareness of them. I actually want a rounded button. To make it a rounded button, if you just move this up, as you can tell up here, it's a circle. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to publish it, and I'm going to start editing the site. Now, I was going down the techie route. I'm not sure what you're going to choose, but for me, the techie route is what I'm going to aim for. I'm going to start doing reviews on softwares, a bit like I do on YouTube, but on a website. The thing is, I want to find images that are high quality, that I'm not going to get copyrighted for, but you know, I can use on my site. So 3 sites that I usually use, and my go-to one is Unsplash. The second place I go to is a place called Pexels, and the third place is called Pixabay. Now, look, all of these images, you know, if I was just to search up cats, for example, I could use all of these images for free. Now, I'm going to look at Unsplash first. So I'm going to look for someone like typing on a Mac. So, typing Mac. So this is honestly, that's like the first one, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to download a few, and I'm going to put them in a folder and see which ones I like. So if I go to downloads, and if I create a new folder, go up here, and we're just going to save some images. Save that one. That's quite cool. And then look, they got related ones. No, I personally don't like any of these, but this one's quite cool. And this one. So that gives me a little authority, and maybe if I search up, let's say social media, see if anything comes up as well. So you know, this might come of use. This might be useful. And let's also put web design. So I'm going to take that one. These are quite good, like little illustrations. Now I'm going to go back to the main site, and I'm going to press edit with Elementor. Basically what I want to do is, if we click this and we go to style, and we go to image, and if we go to upload files and we go to downloads, and we pick our folder, pick one that would look vaguely good. I think the first one that I found, was it this one? I think this will look good. And then wait for this to load, and then we'll just go to insert media. Like that. That actually looks really cool. They actually have a background overlay at the moment, you can tell, which is cool, but I kind of want to make it a bit darker, just to see what it looks like. I kind of actually prefer that. And then we're going to press update, and we're going to preview the changes, and as you can tell, this is what it looks like at the moment, and I'm actually quite happy with this. What we're going to do is, I like these 3 boxes, but what I want to do is I want to have it so it goes to reviews, tutorials and blogs. So what we do is we're just going to type reviews and then press update. And what we're going to just do is press reviews here. We're going to copy and we're going to go like that. Press service 2, press tutorials, press tutorials here, and then we want to go to service 3. And we want to call this blog. Type blog, copy that, and put it here. Cool. Now I want to change the images as well. So if we go select that, and we go to upload, select files. Now let's say first one we can pick this one. Insert the media. Select this one. Let's say this one, and then go to insert media, and then the last one we go back to style, choose image, upload files, and let's pick the one with the code. Code usually looks quite cool. Wait for this to load up and then we'll press insert media. Cool. Now at the moment when we hover over, they're going to like a lightish blue, but what I want to do is go background overlay, and I want to hover, and I want to make it like a black, a bit like that. Or potentially you could make it lighter if you wanted. But for me, I'm not a fan. I want to make it slightly darker like that, well, black. And then the normal one, I'm actually going to make it lighter. That's better. So what I'm just going to do is copy this color code and go to the next one. Background overlay. Go to this one as well. Blog. Background overlay. Color. We're going to go back to this one. Oh, actually, no, I don't need to. It's black, isn't it? So go to hover. Black. Hover. Black. I just want to make sure this goes to H2. Right. I actually want to just change that image as well. I'm sort of going off it. So go back to upload files. Use this one. Good. That looks good to me. Now the reason I keep pressing update quite a lot is just so I don't lose anything. It does automatically save it, and it does advise you to save it if you're going to click off the page, but I just do it out of habit. You know, if you get into the habit of doing it, then that's really good. And then I want to break, so I'm going to put a little bit of code up here, which is the little triangle. I'm not sure what the triangle's called. The triangle BR and little triangle out there. Then we got break, which is cool. And then I'm just going to put a bit of text here. What I'm going to do is, I don't need this here, so I'm going to press delete. And what I did was I actually right clicked on the little pencil, gone down to delete. If you didn't know, these, what we're typing on, are sections. So I could technically move this section below here, and that would be up here. But just so you know, these are called sections, so you can move them about, but I'm very happy like this. So we need to change this picture, as we're not doing a mountain review, we're doing a tech review. And I'm going to change this picture to probably the one that I didn't use earlier, which was the keys. That's cool. And I love this effect where it's fixed, but if we were to put it to default, this is what it looked like. So it's still, it's obviously not what you want. Well, you can, but for me, I think it looks a bit crap. So I'm going to press fix. So that means that when I scroll, it looks like it's moving, but it's not. It's fixed, and it's actually the scroll is moving. But yeah, I don't need these pictures here, so I'm just going to press delete, and I'm going to press delete on this section. And then cool, I mean, I'm quite happy with this. I mean, this is called call to action. Obviously, it's not what you want, but instead I'm going to put free marketing. So a bit like the tip at the top here, but instead I'm going to have it down here as well. For all the latest marketing tips and much more, click the button below. Cool, I'm happy with that. And then all you got to do is go free marketing tips, and we're going to go to style. And at the moment, the background color is nothing, but when we hover over, I want it not to be like that, but instead a darker color, with that being like that. I'm happy with that. I don't really want a border color, so I'm just going to drag this all the way down. So it looks like that. I'm very happy with that. I think it stands out quite cool. Now, if we go back up to the top bit, I'm going to have, instead of create a website, I have my business name, which is System Energy. And then for this, tech reviews. Now, I don't know if I need these buttons simply because I've got them here. But what I do suggest usually for like, when I'm building like a website for a client, is to have a CTA usually under your main title, as well as this CTA here, as it's the first thing your customer will see when they click on your website. For example, if I go to my client's website, obviously you've got the CTA up here, but you've also got the CTA up here, and they both go to the same place. But the point is if you have two obvious CTAs, they're not going to miss it, and they're always going to know where it is. So, you know, I suggest having that, but I don't need it, so I'm just going to press delete, for example, here, and then just exit. Cool. Now, what you could also have, if we go here, you can apply this thing called a shape divider, which is quite cool. And if you go to the bottom, you know, you could have like anything, like height, you know, you could have something like that. But for me, I'm not too much of a fan of anything. What I like is the tilt, but for me, I'm very happy just to have it as none, as it kind of looks like a landing page first off, which is quite cool. So I'm going to press update, and then I've got the front page sorted. You know, I didn't want anything too complicated. I just wanted it nice and simple, and that's what I've got. What I want to do is I want to go to reviews, and I just want to edit the page just to show you what I can do really easily. So what I want to do is I want to go to dashboard. I want to go to pages. I want to go to reviews, edit, and I want to go edit with Elementor. Now this is what is going to be quite cool. So what I want to do, start a template. You see here, I'm actually, because I deleted the page earlier, but I still want the page back. I'm going to go click services, and I'm going to import a template, and it's going to show you what it's going to do. So basically, this is our whole page basically done. So the only thing you will need to change is like some information. So obviously this is now reviews, and I actually want to keep some consistency. So I want to see in the little box what I used. So I used that image. So I want to go back, I want to go to style, and I want to use this image. Now that's cool. And the background overlay, I'm actually just going to use a grey and a black. In fact, I just want a classic. Use a dark black. There we go. Lovely jubbly. And the reason it's not symmetrical, you know, it's not in the center, is because your menu will be up here as it's a transparent header. So you've got to have a bit of a drop down. You could always increase that if you wanted, but there's no real need. As if I was to show you, if I was to go update, preview changes, as you can tell, you've got a menu up here, so you don't need to. And then, yeah, it's simply just about changing information. So I'm going to do a quick speed run of what I would just change it to. And then I'm going to get rid of FAQ. as I don't need it. So this would be literally how it'd be. Might be a bit more complex as I'm going to be using a blog, but this is like the vague sort of theme. So yeah, and then all I do is press update, preview changes, then we got one of our sites done. So if we go back to home, the next thing I want to do is I want to make it mobile friendly. Now, ways that you can view this, so let's close down these. If we just search up mobile friendly test, you can also check on your phone, but if you also press F12 and click this little thing here, let's just pick iPhone 10. So this is what it looks like on the phone at the moment. To be honest, it looks good. But we could also check by going to Edit Elementor. And then you see down here, you got the responsive mode. At the moment it's set to desktop, but if we just click mobile, this is what mobile would look like. Again, very happy with it. And the reason you want to check it on multiple things is sometimes it's misleading on some. So you just want to make it clear. So we're just going to go home. I'm going to copy test URL, wait for that to do its thing. So as you can tell, it's mobile friendly, which is perfect. That's exactly what we want. So if we just close that down, and one more final check I want to do is I want to make sure it's tablet friendly. Yeah, absolutely fine. So all you have to do, just close it down. Now we've gone through the mobile and tablet view, but let's say you didn't want like one of these images to apply on mobile view. Well, all you have to do is go to Edit with Elementor. And if we go down and we just select this, and we go to advanced and we go to responsive, what you can do is you can hide this on mobile. So if you just go to mobile, as you can tell, it's no longer there, so you don't no longer need it. But I want it to be there, so I'm no longer going to hide it on mobile. But you know, there's so much you can do. You know, you can go to advanced, you can change like the margin. For example, have that to 50 and it drops down. I found that when I want to do -50, it don't let me, so I have to type it in a separate thing, select it, and then I have to go to do that. But those are different things you can do. You know, if you're struggling with anything, just leave a comment down below and I'm very happy to help you. So yeah, now there's one last thing I suggest you do. What you want to do is you want to go back to your main page, go to dashboard, wait for that to do its loady thing. I want to go to plugins, go to add new, and search up this thing called all-in-one. All-in-one WordPress migration. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a backup onto our desktop, as well as something else which I'll show you in a sec. So if we could export, so we're going to export our whole site to our desktop. It's not that big of a file, so you don't need to worry about size, to be honest, unless your size is awful. Of course, then you will have to worry about it. But 99 megabytes, tiny. Just put that onto downloads, and that's a manual backup. But what you can also do, if you go to Cloudways and you go to backup restore, as you can tell, you can do a take backup now, which is awesome. So it just saves you a lot of time, really. For example, doing a backup in progress, I'll show you what the end result looks like. As you can tell, we've got a backup. So basically, let's say your website crashes or somehow deletes, or a hacker gets into it, which is very unlikely, but you never know. You can restore the application as you've taken a backup. But yeah, that is pretty much your website. But I just want to say congratulations to making your WordPress website. It's definitely the way to go on to making appear higher on Google rankings. And in the next video, I'm going to show you how to make a contact form. I'm going to show you how to make a blog. I'm going to show you how to do all like the nitty gritty bits. But if you're happy with the technical, the simplicity of the website, you know, you're happy with like something like this, then cool. But next video will be a blog and contact form, stuff like that. A future video I'm going to show as well is Elementor Pro. as it is really good. And another video I'm going to show you is how to connect a sales funnel, how to set up the sales funnel, and how to collect emails. And that is today's video, guys. I hope it was helpful to you in some way, shape or form. You know, whether now you can build a website with confidence, and the good thing about WordPress is it ranks higher on Google compared to the likes of their competitors like Wix and that. So yeah, if it was helpful to you, then I would appreciate a like or subscribe or anything like that, as it does support the channel. Anyway, I hope to see you in the next video. Take care and goodbye.